Welcome to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Night, a podcast that deals with the early life of yours truly. And now, narrating the first part of J.R. on Capitol Hill, Jimmy. "3:25 a.m. For the past 3 days, Jim had been stressed by one of his subordinates, Andrew Dillon. Dillon had not been putting out much effort like Jim had requested. So he was thinking about requesting to Erskine Bowles that Dillon be removed from office or transferred to another department within the SBA. 4 a.m. From the front lounge, Jim can see Bill Hume exit out the front door and towards a limo taking him to see his father in Virginia Beach. "6 a.m. J.R. wakes up in his suite and turns on his headphones with radio for the Andrew House Minute. As President Bill Clinton tools around Europe playing international affairs, it's pretty obvious what's going on at home. Marital discord in Hollywood. Another divorce in the celebrity books. More in detail from my BBS. Not to mention the ties between Hillary Clinton and Dan Rostenkowski, the banking and postage scandals. Not to mention the scandal in Whitewater, it continually heats up as this ubiquitous Whitewater scandal rolls on. 12 p.m. At the Chevy Chase Hilton, J.R. is having lunch with Holly Hawthorne. "Your father forgives me for what happened in our past relationship, and I like the way he thinks of me. We can still be something, Junior." "I don't want to talk about this," J.R. said. "What's the deal?" "There's no you and me, Holly." "Well, maybe there's a problem." "There's no problem," J.R. said. "Then prove it," Holly said. "How many times I gotta tell you? There is no you and me," J.R. said. "What kind of man are you?" J.R. stood up. "You've got to stop pursuing me like this, Holly. Yesterday morning you present me a goose down pillow at breakfast. Then this morning before breakfast you come charging in my door to inspect the pillow, wondering if it's puffed up enough. My cousin Joe says that that's creepy." "You can't say there's no you and me," Holly protested in tears. "Junior, you can't say there's no you and me. Do you know how that makes me feel? I want to marry you. Have the Hendrick name." "Enough," J.R. said, walking away. "12 p.m. Central. In Baton Rouge, the family returns with the girls having done some shopping at in Baton Rouge, and now in Mary Jane they are sitting down for some Hendrick Reubens. These Reubens were some finely chopped salami, sauerkraut, and feta cheese. This was a recipe that Betsy learned from Grandma Hendrick shortly after she and Jim got married. 2 p.m. Emily Cummings takes JR to Capitol Hill to hear some arguments by Republican Congresswoman Brooke Martin of Maine. For the most part, she supported the Clinton crime bill of 1994, except she warned that the ban on assault weapons should be removed as an amendment to the bill. "3:08 p.m. JR is in the apartment with Bill Hume, listening to the Blake Carter show. "I gotta say, he's right on most things," Bill said. "He does need some public affairs skills," JR said. Like my father has them." Well, wait a minute," Bill said. "Ever since you returned from Baton Rouge, all you've done is complain about your father. And now all of a sudden, he has excellent public affairs skills?" "Look, he's always been good at business," JR said. "It took some prodding from Mama to make him a good husband and a good father." 4 p.m. Eastern. Back in his suite, JR can hear Cousin Joe play a country tribute to the Eagles, released in 1993. His father walks in. "Damn, you kids know what's good," Jim said. "You know, Joe, Betsy had me listening to these tracks back when we renewed our vows in 73. 8 p.m. Wait, 6 p.m. JR is having dinner with Hannah Gordon at the Hotel Chevy Chase. "You know, I see how Holly is pursuing you, and I've got to say, it disgusts me," Hannah said. "Look, I got to play this game for a month and a half until I get out of here," JR said. "Why?" "My father," JR said. "What about your mama? Can't she put a stop to this?" Hannah asked. "Look, Mama is in Baton Rouge and will remain that way until the 4th of August. And she's going to be only in Washington, D.C. until the 8th of August. "Rats," Hannah said. 8 p.m. Back at the mansion, Jim is having a special reception dinner for future Congressman Mike Shorehorn, Congressman Armstrong, and Congresswoman Stevens. None of their significant others were there except for Blake Bard, constitutional lawyer and wife of Congresswoman Chandra Stevens. I hope you enjoy listening to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Night. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the adventure. It's J.R. Hendrick saying until next time, get ready for the rest of the story. It gets interesting from here.